how's it going, guys? So today I'm going to be getting into the two concepts that I've used to get consistent payouts and showing you guys that this month I'm already up $88,500 just this month alone. Here, I'm just go ahead and get right into it. Here's the proof of this. So these concepts are so easy that, as you can see, these are pictures from my Instagram. If you guys want to follow my Instagram, go ahead and do that. But also, as well as these pictures, I post my P&L and my payouts every single day on my Twitter. So if you guys aren't following my Twitter, I already posted these. Go ahead and do that so you guys get the latest updates on the payouts I'm taking, how much money I'm making, and how you guys can be doing the same thing. Go follow my Twitter. This is all my bank statements that I have taken screenshots of from this month alone on just trading payouts. If you guys add these up, there's a missing $2,000 payout, but it comes out to around $88,000. So these concepts are literally so easy to understand that you are only going to need to maybe do 5, 10, 15 minutes on the charts to be able to do this. You don't need any crazy indicators or tools. Your charts aren't going to look like ridiculous or anything like that. You're also not going to have to do any crazy like over the top analysis on the charts. It's going to be very straightforward. You're going to be able to log onto the charts and see these two concepts play out every single time that you even look at the chart. So without further ado, let's get into it. Concept number one. Some people can't wrap their head around this. Some people are so confused on what this means. Every entry is an exit and every exit is an entry. I want you guys to all repeat that with me right now. Every entry is an exit and every exit is an entry. So I want you guys to really drill that into your head. What this means and why this even matters is because every time that you are entering a position in the market, I want you guys to think of what contracts actually are. You are buying and selling contracts when you are buying and selling in the market. You are buying and selling contracts. So what that means is you're not getting rid of the contract. You're not exiting the contract and the contract just gets burned up. You're literally trading. We are day traders. We are trading contracts. So every time you enter a position, you are taking that contract from somebody else. You are buying that contract and that person is selling the contract to you. So every time you enter the market, there is somebody else who is exiting at the same exact time. And it's the same thing on reverse. Every time that you are exiting the market, there is somebody else at that same exact time entering the market. So obviously that means that the two people, you and the other person who are buying and selling, all have contradicting biases. It's really important that we understand this because that means that one of you guys is going to be correct. Now obviously this is important because that means only one of you guys are going to be correct. If you guys are buying and selling at the same time, whose bias is going to play out? That is what we need to figure out. So the key behind this concept is that we need to figure out, okay, when we're buying and selling, there's somebody else doing the same exact thing, but on the opposite end. So in order to really get a grip of this, we need to understand, okay, if somebody's buying and selling at the opposite times as me, who is going to be correct? How do we really narrow that down? And how do we give ourselves the edge to be able to say, yeah, I'm right and this person's wrong? So that is going to be the first concept, and that directly correlates into the next concept that I'm going to talk about. So we have to figure out, why are we correct and why are they wrong? All right, so now that you guys are seeing this, oh my God, is he giving me another teaching about liquidity? Is this another liquidity lesson? No, you're wrong. Now, concept number two is going to be going over, where is the market drawing to? Why is our entry/exit more correct than somebody else's entry or exit? Obviously, that is what we are trying to get to the bottom of. And I'm telling you guys, it is all about liquidity. So this right here is going to be a representation of two charts, and these are both examples from today's market. Now, I have circles on my charts, and I'm showing you guys that actually means liquidity pools. So liquidity pools is where the market wants to go. In order for the market to make money, we obviously know that the market is designed for most people to fail. That's just what it does. So the best things for the market to do in order to make its money is to go ahead and go to where people have positioned themselves and take them out of their positions to go ahead and take their money. And that is what liquidity pools are. If we zoom into the chart right here, we see that we have session lows right here. I have London and Asia lows marked out. Now with session lows and session highs, people are constantly positioning themselves at the bottom and the tops of these liquidity pools. Now, as well as right here, we also have the previous day lows that we have also marked out, and people are positioning themselves in these areas because this is where the market is going to be able to grab the most cash. And obviously, if we take a look into today's New York AM session, we see that AM session opens instantly. The first liquidity pool that we go to is London lows. Now, with the way that we've been moving, we've been at all-time highs. So I'm trying to think, okay, if we're at all-time highs, but we're taking out London lows, where would the market want to go now in order to make the most money? I want to get into the actual charts now. So if we look at the past week, we see that we have been completely bullish. We've seen that continuation from all-time highs. We have not stopped going up since. Ever since we broke all-time highs, we've pretty much just been going up, and everybody knows in the market, and if you don't know this by now, you never fade all-time highs. The only thing that you can do is either A, don't trade, or B, take continuation, and that is exactly what you have to do. So when people know that, when people are taking adjustments to the market, people look at this and we see that we have been continuing. Even after some bearish candles, we always continue up. We have a bearish move, then we always continue up, and it keeps breaking over and over again, repeating this cycle of a bearish candle and then moving back up. So when people start to take note of this and they notice this pattern, what happens is we make a big move up, and then that happens again. We see that we have a bearish candle, but again, obviously, people are not expecting all-time highs to just all of a sudden flip. So what happens? Nobody takes short positions, so nobody's able to catch the high of this move, which means when people aren't taking the high of this move, there's not going to be as much liquidity at the London highs compared to the London lows, which is the exact reason why I wanted us to seek out the London lows before we continued in any other direction, because there's not going to be as much liquidity at London highs since people aren't going to short the all-time highs. There's going to be more liquidity left, aka more cash for the market to grab at the London lows. And so me taking a deeper look into this, I want to look, okay, we also have Asia lows down there. We also have from yesterday the New York PM lows that we ended up leaving right here. This is a live market. I guarantee that the market's going to continue down there and end up taking out these lows. And the reason for that is because it is all about liquidity. Now back to our screen. This is how we find our why. This is how we find why are we correct and why are they wrong. That is what we've been trying to get to the bottom of this entire time. So when we find out, okay, the only thing that we need to know to determine whether we are right and whether they are wrong is if we know where liquidity is resting. Where does the market want to go? That is why we're finding out exactly why we position ourselves in the correct position. That's how we find out that anybody who's going against us, why they are going to be wrong. The market is only a game of winners and losers. Every time that you are winning, somebody else is losing. And every time you are losing, somebody else is winning. So we have a screenshot right here, basically going over the liquidity pools that I marked out. And then we have a screenshot down here of a trade example that was from today. So as you can see from this example, I have the London lows marked out right here. And then if you can see this very faint blue line, that is where the Asia lows that we see right here, that is where that's marked out. So what we see is we have an SMT up at these highs, and then we also end up getting a change in state delivery down here, as well as an inversion fair value gap right up here. Now this would have been an example for an entry that we could have taken to catch the shorts today. And as you can see, the two targets of the London lows and the Asia lows were perfect targets for us to go ahead and follow with RTPs. Now, the reason why showing this trade example matters is because, like I said, every time we are entering, somebody else is exiting or somebody else is entering in the opposite direction. Now, we have the reasoning for why we enter this trade. We see that we get a change in state delivery. We see that we get an SMT. We see all the things that we want in order to be able to enter the trade, but we also have a better why. Why are we entering this trade? Well, we're right next to London lows, which is a very strong liquidity pool. And then right below that, we also have Asia lows that we can follow through and take out. In order for you to be able to make money in the markets, you have to start thinking like the markets. Where are the markets going to make the most money? How are the markets going to take the most people out of their position? Now, the answer to your question would be to go ahead, go to liquidity pools and sweep those people out of their positions. That is exactly what we did today. So anybody that's buying here or exiting here clearly doesn't understand liquidity and why we are going to go down. We have the reason why, but if they're not seeing that, we are going to capitalize off of their losses, which means that as soon as we get our entry, what happens? We end up dumping. So we see that as soon as we enter, we end up dumping, and anybody who's buying up this position right here is losing money all the way through this entire move, simply because they don't know the concepts that I'm teaching you guys today about. So here are the things that I want you guys to be able to take away from this. First of all, I want you guys to really drill this into your head. The concept number one, every entry is an exit and every exit is an entry. Why this matters, what this means. Go ahead, and if you haven't already drilled this into your head, go back in the video and watch my explanations of why this matters and what it means and how you can capitalize off of this. Now, like I said, this only matters because we have to figure out why we are going to be correct and why somebody else is going to be wrong, which all comes down to liquidity. Like I said, it is all about liquidity. So I really want you guys to drill this into your head. Go ahead, take a screenshot of the screen. Make sure that you guys are remembering this every single time that you are entering a trade. Why are you correct? Why are they wrong? Where is the market going to make the most money? And how are you going to position yourself to be able to take advantage of that and think like the market? If you guys enjoy these teaching, you guys want more videos of this, of just straight up sauce. I'm not dilly-dallying. I'm getting straight into the actual things that I'm using to be able to make money like I have this past month. This has made me over $80,000 within the last 15 days alone. Also, the way that I'm making so much money trading these accounts is because I'm copy trading across 36 accounts currently. So that means if I'm making $500 on one account, for most people that's $500, but for me, that's times 36 because I'm trading across 36 accounts. If you guys want to be able to go ahead and do that and make as much money as I'm doing now, because honestly, that is the only way to do it, go to the link in the description. You see Apex and there's also Alpha Futures. Those are the two most recommended prop firms. You can see Apex has paid me out very, very well. Alpha Futures has also paid me out very, very well. And if you guys want to be making money like this is big boy bucks. That's how you do it. Use my code AVAL. You get a discount, 80% off on Apex right now and 10% off on Alpha with no activation fee on their advanced account. Anyway, let's get back into the video. Obviously, making this much money and being a young kid, I am going to be buying a new car. So if you guys want to see the vlog and pretty much any vlogs that I make kind of showing off my lifestyle, things that I do, go ahead and check out my main channel. The link is going to be in the description. As well as my free trading course. I have a free trading course completely for free. I have other videos like this going over literally everything that I use to trade. You guys can get access to that. The link is also the first link in the description. Go check out the entire free trading course. Also, my Instagram, my Twitter. I always update you guys on everything I'm doing down there. I'm uploading on there every single day. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. But with all that being said, I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate it if you guys can go ahead, give a like to this video if you found this to be valuable. Leave a comment down below anything else that you guys want to see, because I'll be taking recommendations, making videos for you guys, anything that you struggle with. So thank you guys so much. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.